ant keepers, and welcome back to another episode of My Antics. Today we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about taking care of your first queen and colony right up to the point that they're put into a nest. Let's get into it. After catching or acquiring your new queens, it'll take them 3 to 7 days to lay their first batch of eggs. A good sign that they are fertile is when all of the eggs are in one pile, not spread far apart and all over the test tube. You can see here that her eggs are in one general location, which is a great sign for a beginning ant keeper. One of the most important things to remember with your new queens is that they need a constant supply of water. Failure to give them this could cause them their death or major dehydration, which could also cause your queens to eat her brood. With a skinny, long object, you are able to poke the middle of their water cotton, making sure that they have a constant, steady flow of water. You can see here a little bit of water did come out of the test tube. When you release the pressure from the middle of the cotton, that water will be sucked back in. And you know for sure 100% that your queen has water. After a few weeks of having your queen, a great thing to give them is a little drop of honey. This makes sure that they have a sugar source and they're not relying on fasting alone. Let's give this queen a little dot of honey and see what she does with it. Though she doesn't seem interested right now, I'm sure by the next time I check on her, all of the honey will be gone. Let's now take a look forward into when pupa and larva come into the picture. Within 3 to 5 weeks from getting your queen, her brood will start to develop into larva and pupa. Both of these stages need a continuous source of nutrition that the queen normally has stored up in her from before her nuptial flights. Even though a queen can fast until her first workers come into play, it's always good to make sure that they have a drop of honey to keep her energy up. Again, let's make sure that our queen has a continuous supply of water. After making sure that she has water, always remember to put a little honey drop in for her as well. Let's do that now. When she discovers the honey, she will drink every drop and give them to her larva and pupa as a source of food. Let's now fast forward in time to a cocoon colony, a queen that has cocoons. Between 3 and 5 months after your queen laid her first batch of brood, her pupa will start to cocoon themselves, which is a sign that workers are not far away. Cocoons no longer need a source of nutrition, and the black dot that you see on the bottom of every cocoon is the ant's first poop. The only time that they poop until they are hatched into a worker. Your queen has worked long and hard to make sure that her eggs turn into cocoons and eventually workers. At this point, you should be very proud of your queen. Finally, the moment we have all been waiting for as ant keepers. Our queen officially has her first Nanitic, and for the first time ever, you get to call them a colony. Having her first Nanitic means that she no longer has to tend to the brood alone, and now you can start giving the main protein offerings along with the sugar. Even though her first Nanitic popped into the scene, I would still recommend waiting 3 to 4 days to give them their first main protein offering, for the reason that her first worker's exoskeleton is still hardening, and her jaws might not be strong enough to break into the protein skin. Having your first Nanitic born is a serious celebration for any ant keeper, new or experienced. So if you have reached this level that fast, congratulations, ant keepers, you're on the right track to success. It's been a couple of months now, and your queen went from having her first Nanitic to a good group of workers. She still has eggs, pupa, larvae, and cocoons, all in the process of becoming more workers. And your colony is outgrowing its test tube. For the next month or so, or before they come to 10 to 15 workers, you should still be feeding them regularly. Normally around this time, once a week, with an offering of protein and sugar. Let's talk about exactly how you should be feeding them. Freshly killed crickets is the best option for its fresh protein for them. Always make sure that you crunch the leg so the newly killed cricket is not hopping all over their test tube. Next, let's give them an offering of honey and see if they react to it. You can see that now the workers love their offerings of honey and protein and look forward to it regularly. These are all great signs that your colony is healthy and growing. Campanodus love honey, but other ants like harvesters prefer seeds. Depending on the species that you have, make sure you give them something special that you know they will like. In time, your colony will reach 15, 20, and even 30 plus workers, and it's finally time for a long-needed formicarium. Though they're in a nest and no longer in a test tube, the same practices apply. Make sure that your colony has a steady source of water and constant sources of sugar and protein. Today we took a look at a queen with brood, and all the way up the chart to a queen with a handful of workers. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video and used what you saw in your own experiences with your home colonies. Forever and always, always, happy ant keeping.